Hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome into the Fab Fam house. We are glad to have each and every one of you here this wonderful, wonderful day. Welcome, welcome. Heat Rail, good to see you in here again. Hope you're having an awesome Saturday and I hope your week was just spectacular. Hello, Sinu. Welcome up in the Fat Fam house. I'm glad to see you follow and join us for our cooking streams. Glad to have you here, sir. And we always enjoy Miss Slimy Ivy coming in here, hanging out with us in our cooking streams. Oh, it's Slimy? Okay, Slimy. Let's go, Slimy. I was wondering where you were. So, welcome in, everyone. Happy Saturday. Today, we are going to make up some ham and Swiss sliders along with some homemade potato chips. Two of my favorite things. I love these ham and Swiss sliders, and I also love homemade potato chips. Um, it is always a favorite thing of mine. So we are going to make this up. We're going to start with our sliders because we need to get them in the oven. You cover them with foil and cook for like 20 minutes. So I'm going to start with those, get those in the oven, and we're going to move on to our potato chips. Wow, they're going to North Dakota? Let's go. Hey, Mick, happy Saturday, sir. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome up in here. Okay, guys, I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees. I'm going to turn my oil on low a little bit to start heating it. So, ham and Swiss sliders, what you need. King's Hawaiian rolls. I guess you guys have probably seen these. Most of you have these in your town. They come in a 12 pack. Please get a pack of those. This is for a single batch of these. If you're going to make them for a bunch of people, you would want to double the rolls. But we're going to do a single batch, which is 12 rolls. Make sure you get some Swiss cheese. I just got some prepackaged because I was at Target yesterday and I wasn't at the grocery store, so I just got some prepackaged Swiss. And get some ham of your liking, some thin cut deli ham. I just got the Hormel Natural Choice because, like I said, I was at Target and I just bought this there instead of getting it cut. So I'll be using that, and you'll need some Dijon mustard, some poppy seed. You'll need some minced onion, some Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of pepper. Okay, and a stick of butter. So let's get started. We're gonna open up our Hawaiian rolls here. Okay, and also you want to get a serrated knife to cut bread with. Most of us have one. You don't have to, but it does make life easier doing these. And I'm going to move our little bowl out of the way. Now I'm going to pre-spray. I put in a baking dish some foil down, and I'm just going to take some olive oil cooking spray, and I'm going to spray this. Okay. Now I'm going to open up my Hawaiian rolls here. Like I said, we're going to use all 12. I pull those out. Now, do not start separating them, okay? Keep them attached if they will stay attached. I know some cases they have come apart, but keep them attached if you can. We're going to try to here. These are so fresh and moist, they are sticking to the bottom of this. Okay, now I'm going to try my best to cut these tops off without these coming apart, okay? I'm just going to take my serrated knife and go through this and try to hold it down and just keep coming straight across. And hopefully I can keep all 12 of these together if I'm successful here. Watch your hand, please don't cut yourself. I think I did it. They kind of come apart. But you can see each of these. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking the ham and the Swiss. I'm going to put a bunch of ham on here, and then I'm going to put the Swiss on top, okay? So let me open up my ham here. I'm just going to completely cut the package open because I'm going to end up using it all. I just got myself some honey ham. I like honey ham. And I'm going to take this ham. It's not cut as thin as I normally like. But I'm going to put the ham on the little sliders here. The reason you want to keep them together if you can is it just cooks better. And then you kind of pull them apart once you get them out. And they set in the pan better. So I'm just taking one piece right now per slider. I'm kind of dividing it up like this. If I can get it to stay on the slider. I love Hawaiian bread. It's really tasty. I like using Hawaiian bread. Okay. These will smell really good as they cook too. Between the stuff we're going to pour on top of this in a minute and the Hawaiian rolls themselves, it does smell really scrumptious. Sometimes you have to mess around with the ham to get it to lay down. It's kind of annoying. All right. Now that I've done that, I'm going to get my Swiss over here. Swiss cheese is good cheese. I don't know if you guys like certain cheeses in your home. We use various cheeses. A lot of Colby Jack, Swiss. Havarti cheese is a good cheese. You can get Havarti Deal, which is really good for a slice of that on a cheeseburger. Okay, so I have one piece of Swiss. I'm just going to rip it in half and then fold that half in half, okay, like this. And I'm going to put it on top of this. So just rip the Swiss piece in half, fold it in half, and put it on top of the piece of ham. And I'm just going to do that for all of these. Swiss is good on a cheeseburger too, y'all. It's a little Swiss and a little bit of some Colby Jack. Good, good. Okay. Okay. So I hear that Frank and Hellbound and Salt did really good with their 53 points last night. All right, now we've put a piece of Swiss doubled on all these. Get that one to lay down. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back to the ham left. And I'm going to take one piece and try to rip it in half. So one piece in half and put a half on top of that cheese. All right. I'll have to open up another pack of ham here. Okay. Let's open up some more ham. These are also good to do, say you have some ham left from Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter. You made a Easter ham. You can use your fresh ham for this too if you have some ham and you're just tired of eating the plain old ham. This recipe will be good. You could use the ham for this. Okay, get this out. Okay, now I'm on my last one here. Ripped it in half. Okay, now let me seal my ham back up. Seal my cheese up too while I'm at it. Okay, now I'm going to take these lids and put them back on these. Okay, then I've got my pre-sprayed pan here. So I'm going to take these and set them down in here very carefully so I don't drop them. Okay, now I have them down in here, and I'm going to take a big measuring cup and a stick of butter, okay, and I'm going to put it in here, and we're going to melt this in the microwave for just a moment. All right, let me turn around behind me, pop this in the microwave. Alice, happy Saturday, hun. Good to see you in here today. Miss seeing you around lately. Hope you're doing well. I saw your pictures where you went hiking, I believe, to a volcano. That's pretty awesome. I hear your legs were hurting, but the pictures look wonderful. So this is starting to melt. All right, let me see. All right, we're good. So I have my stick of butter melted, okay, in this. Oh, exams. Oh, I hope you did well, though, Alice. I hope your exams went well. Okay, I've got my stick of butter melted. Now I'm going to add a tablespoon of poppy seed. So I have my poppy seed. And I'm just going to add a tablespoon. Let me move this out of the way. Tablespoon of poppy seed. Okay. And then I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of minced onion. Here's my minced onion. 2 teaspoons of minced onion. Okay, and 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. That was like always one of those words that were hard to say. Wisher. So we kind of made it funny in my house growing up. 1 and 2. And then we need to put 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Dijon mustard. I'm going to do 1 tablespoon. Whoa. Where is my spatula? Okay. And I'm going to lay that over there out of the way. And now we're going to mix all this together, okay? Well, actually, let me put... No. I need to put a little bit of pepper in here, too. About 1/4 of a teaspoon is fine. You don't want too much. And a little bit of salt. Now I'm going to mix it together. The Dijon's going to melt some in this hot butter. That's what you want it to do. So just kind of whisk it around. Stir it good. And it's starting to mix in well. The mustard and with the butter. Starting to get it to blend well. There we go. Now, I have all that mixed in with the butter. It's all just mixed together. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these rolls, okay, these ham and Swiss rolls, and we're just going to drizzle this all the way across the top. I'm just going to start in the corner, and I'm just going to drizzle. Just a light drizzle. It is going to run off. That's correct. It is okay. Make sure it's all over these. Okay. Now I'm going to take my foil and I'm going to cover this in my foil. We're going to cover these up. And we're going to put these in the oven for about 20 minutes. Okay, I got my oven on 350. And I'm just going to turn around and we're going to put these in our oven. Let me set the timer. All right. Now, let's see. These are going to be really good too. I like these. Trying to get my timer here to work. Now, once we cook these for 20 minutes, we're going to uncover them and we're going to cook them for 5 additional minutes, okay? All right. Now, potato chips. We're going to make some potato chips to go with our ham and Swiss rolls. Now, I'm going to go on and we're going to make the seasoning first that we're going to sprinkle on our potato chips. So let me get out my tablespoon here. And I have my parsley flakes. I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons, roughly, of parsley flakes. I don't need any of this anymore. We're going to do a teaspoon of salt. A teaspoon of pepper. Some garlic powder. We're going to do half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And I'm going to mix all that together. We're going to start out with that. We'll probably have to make some more, but I just kind of start out with that. And I'm going to take a little fork here, and I'm going to just kind of whisk this together. And sometimes it doesn't want to mix together well. A lot of things I just like to use my hands sometimes. That's why it's important to keep your hands clean in the kitchen, because you end up using them more than you think. And I think I just got pepper up my nose. Okay. Now, potato chips. You want a cold bowl of water. And you want to soak these chips in water for about 30 minutes once they're cut up. I've already done some. The reason you want to soak your thin cut potatoes in water is it helps pull some of the starch out of the potato. And if you pull some of the starch out of a potato, it helps the potato cook to be nice and crispy. And it helps it not stick together when you're cooking, okay? So I just take a cutting board. Let me show you how I do these. And I take my washed potato with the skin on, and I'm just going to take off the end caps because they have like and any bad spot, which there's a bad spot there. And if you have a mandolin cutter, which I do not have a hand mandolin, you can run this across the mandolin like this and cut them thin, okay? I have this attachment that goes over here to my KitchenAid mixer, and it cuts thin and would be perfect for this, but the only thing is the hole that you put the cheese or the item you want to be cut into is smaller, so my potato will not fit in there. I tried it last night. I have to mutilate and cut the potato up too much for it to work. So we're just going to not worry about that. So I'm going to take my big knife and I'm going to try to cut these as thin as I can, okay? And I just let it slide down off of there, and I'm going to cut them this direction as thin as I can without hopefully destroying the potato. But see, this is what a mandolin cutter would do if you had one. It would just cut the potato really, really thin. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just cutting these really thin. Because in essence, we're making not French fries, we're making potato chips. And I already turned my oil on low back here on my stove. Watch your fingers when you're cutting. But see, I mean, if they could all be about that, that would be perfect. It's hard to be consistent when you're cutting with a knife. I'm trying, but they're a little different in size. I'm starting to get little flumpy cuts here. All right, let's see. There we go. Now, I'm going to throw the end piece away. Now, that's just one potato right there. That's one potato. And I'm going to take these over to the sink and I'm going to wash them off. And then you're going to put them in your water, cold water. Some people like to put ice in the water. My grandma used to put ice in the water. And you let these soak in the salt. Now, once again, the reason these potatoes are pre-soaking for 30 minutes in water is because if you soak your potatoes in water, it pulls the starch out. It helps pull the starch out. I put a little bit, like a half a teaspoon of salt in these because these are so thin for potato chips. If they're soaking in the water, when we pat them dry and we put them in our oil, it's going to help them not stick together. So more starch, the potatoes stick together, okay? Hey, Grand. It does, Grand. I don't have one. It does have, if you have like a tabletop slicer, guys, the end of it does have a slicer on it, and you can run it down that. I have a handheld shredder, but I was telling Chat I have a mandolin on my mixer where when I was making my spaghetti noodles for Stream Wednesday night and I made homemade spaghetti. Uh, I used it to make the noodles. There is a slicer, but the potato's too big to go through it, so I'm having to do these by hand because I don't have a mandolin. So it would be easier. I was telling Chat if you had one. But anyways, these are our pre-soaked potatoes. And let me get some paper towels. I've got the oil on a little bit here, trying to get it heated up. Let me get some paper towels. Hope your day's going good, Grand. Hope you are feeling better and getting hydrated. Grand, we made you VIP up in the Fab Fam house today. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome to the Fab Fam. And Grand, we also I put you on auto host, okay? The Fab Fam has you on auto host. I just wanted you to know. So when we're not streaming, if you are on auto host now. All right, I'm going to pull some of these out. I'm going to drip some of the water off of them. Okay. And I'm just going to put them on my paper towel. I'm going to spread them out a little bit. Just like that. And I'm going to take some more paper towels here, and I'm going to dab them off with the water with the paper towel. I hope everyone's having an excellent day. So I'm just going to do this to get some of the water off so they don't splash so much in the oil. And this is our seasoning once they come out and we put them in a bowl. This is our seasoning that we're going to sprinkle on it. It's a little bit of parsley, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. Aw, Grand, you're so sweet. Thank you. Oh, and guess what, chat? I forgot to tell y'all the most important thing. If you weren't in my stream last night, the Fab Fam got a P.O. box yesterday. So the Fab Four family officially has a P.O. box now. So I'm really happy about that. There is a command in the channel, !mail, and it is our P.O. box. And I am super stoked about that because we've needed one for a long time now. So the Fab Four family has a P.O. box. Let's go. And now that I have a P.O. box, I can officially use this molasses over here sitting on my counter and make the grandest of grandpas some ginger snap cookies and ship them out to him. So I plan on doing that this week and getting Grand his ginger snaps. I'm so happy. All right, guys, I have dabbed these off. Now we're going to swap over here to our stove where I have a little bit of oil in this pot right here. And I've had it on a little bit of a low heat. And this right here is just a big old bowl with some paper towels in it so I can drain them off. Yes, and I'm going to send Miss Hippie some. I'm going to try to get a box, Grand. I'm going to have to find a box. But I wanted to send Miss Hippie some canned pickles too that I'll just send to your P.O. box. All right. Let me see if this is hot enough. I'm going to try one chip in here. Yep, it looks like it is rising up. So I'm going to put a little bit in at a time. And we have our ham and Swiss sliders in the oven. They are smelling delicious, by the way. Now, my grandma used to make these as a treat for us girls, and I loved them. You know, some restaurants you can go, especially barbecue joints, and you can get their homemade potato chips. This is what these are similar to. So you need to keep your eye on these because we did cut these thin and we do not want them to burn, okay? Yeah, Sidhu went off with his wife and Slimy followed us on her daddy's account. So that's Slimy. She threw me off this morning. Is Miss Hippie working them early hours today, Grand? She told me she's been working to pay for her vacation. Her getaway in June. I think it's funny that she's never flown before, which I hate flying. I've only flown once, and so I don't blame her. You want to get a browning on these. They're not there yet. I just kind of flip and turn a little bit here and there. heat on my stove is in between medium and low, just so you know, for that oil. Has to work tomorrow? Okay. I know it was like Thursday or Friday she had an early morning, she said. Yes, I am. I'm making homemade potato chips. Yep, homemade potato chips to go with our ham and Swiss sliders that are currently cooking in the oven. Um, for those of you that missed it, our ham and Swiss sliders, you cut a 12 pack of Hawaiian rolls in half, leaving them attached, but cut the tops off of to the bottoms and fill them with some ham and Swiss, and then you put the tops back on, put them in a foil pan that's been sprayed, and you take a stick of butter, some Worcestershire sauce, some Dijon mustard, uh, a little bit of minced onion, poppy seed, and a little bit of salt and pepper. Mix it together in that stick of melted butter, drizzle it over the top, cover it with foil, and we have popped it into the oven with it covered in foil for 20 minutes. There's about 2 minutes left. Once they come out, I'll take the foil off the top, pop them back in for 5 to 10 more minutes without the foil on them, okay? May have to turn the heat up a little bit on this oil. I'm going to do that. Hey, Tiger. Happy Saturday, Tiger. I hope you had a great week at work. These are smelling delicious. So how far is that from where you live, Slimy, going to North Dakota? Is that like really far of a drive for them or not that bad? All right, turning this heat up is going to help these a little bit, I can tell. You have to get that heat just right. It's kind of tricky at first. Hey, Brian. Happy Saturday. About an hour. Okay, Slimy, that's not too bad. Yes, mine was well, Tiger. Hope everyone had a great week. Not just a good one, a great one. My chip is trying to swell up here. All right. My Swiss rolls are beeping here. So let me open up the oven and look at my sliders here. And I'm going to take the foil off the top. And for those of you that don't know, we have a YouTube channel that is new. Please go find us on YouTube. Fab4 Fam, I think is what it is. It'll be on our, it's It'll be on our ending soon screen. But so I took the top off that and I'm going to put that back in there. But Cilantro is uploading my VODs from the cooking stream to the channel. And uh, we are going to be recording little tidbit clips, like say 10, 15-minute videos of me making one item. And we're going to be recording those. And Cilantro will be uploading those to the channel also. So it'll be how-tos that'll be going to the channel too. So we're really excited about that. Hello. Hello, Wonton. Everyone's favorite disciple. How are you doing today, sir? Have you heard anything about that interview yet? Okay, these are getting brown, so I'm going to drain them and put them in this bowl. Hellbound, what's up? Mr. 53 points. Now I'm going to take these chips that I've cut, that I've drained a little bit over here, and I'm going to drop them down into the oil now. You just woke up? I mean, it is tiring getting 53 points. I mean, that's exhausting. You got the job. Let's go, Wonton. Yay! Congrats, Wonton. Congratulations. Is it normal hours, Wonton, like an 8 to 5 job, or is it different hours? Okay. I had to dab some more of these chips off. They're so good, Wonton. They have like a glaze on top too. They are cooking in the oven now. 8 to 5, let's go. Normal hours. Okay, I think I have enough in there, so I'm letting those cook. Now, as these start coming out, what we want to do, see, these are potatoes in here, our potato chips. I'm going to take this mixture I made of the parsley, the garlic powder, the salt, and the pepper, and I'm just going to sprinkle some on here, okay? And I'm going to do that each time I pull some out. And you just kind of sprinkle it on top. You might be able to see it there. Every single time it comes out. And I'm constantly, just as you'll notice when we cook these, I'm constantly touching them and moving them. It's just because I don't want them to burn and I want them to cook evenly. And like I told you guys, make sure that you pre-cut some potatoes, soak them in cold, cold water, even with some ice, and it's just in a bowl like this, for 30 minutes before you want to cook them, and then dab them off with water and cook them. The reason you do that is if you soak potatoes in water for at least 30 minutes, it pulls a lot of the starch out of the potato, okay? It pulls the starch out of the potato, therefore they cook crisper and they don't stick together, okay? If you have any sticking, it'll be rare, okay? Because you're pulling that starch out of the potato. Okay, play some Minecraft, Slimy. That's cool. My boys used to play Minecraft. They still like it here and there. Sometimes I kind of flip it around. And these potatoes are really cool because you can kind of see the spices that I drizzled on the potato chip. Like I said, it's a little bit of parsley, garlic powder, salt, and some pepper. And I mix it together in a bowl and just sprinkle it on there. Have you tried to make potato chips, Tiger? You got to work. Are you off today, Hellbound? Oh, really, Tiger? Okay, okay. It might be. Did you soak them in water? If not, that might be the trick for you. All right. I'm going to have to get something to put these Swiss rolls on. They're about ready to come out. So the weather is much nicer here in Tennessee today. That little cold snap decided to leave. It's a little cooler, but nothing like the frost that we had the other night. I'd already bought flowers for my landscaping too. I had to bring them in. So hopefully we're done with these little cold snaps here in Tennessee because I'm going to put my flowers back out. Man, these ham and Swiss rolls, I just love the smell of them. Yes, pre-soak 30 minutes, Tiger, in very cold water. And then pull some out at a time, dab them dry on a paper towel, and then cook them. Have your oil already heated up, um, because soaking them helps them uh, get some of the starch out. And getting the starch out, helps them not stick together, and it helps them cook to a nice crisp instead of a flop. We have some local barbecue places in Tennessee, as you well know. You may have heard we're known for barbecue joints. We have some barbecue joints that I've liked to go on to, and they have homemade potato chips, and I absolutely love them. You can even put your own spin on it if you don't want to do the parsley, garlic powder, salt and pepper on yours. Some of the barbecue joints here have their own seasoning. Like I know some of you have, what is that place called? Red Robin, a hamburger place. And they sell their own seasoning. You can get somebody's seasoning if you want and just sprinkle that on these. That's fun too. Some people just don't want to have the patience and take the time to make these either. Mm. It does take a second, versus just getting a bag of potato chips out, but these taste so much better. You put taco seasoning on everything, cilantro. Okay, I'm going to turn my oven off. All right, these are almost done. Okay, I flipped those over. Let's let them cook on the other side there for just a few seconds. Yes, Jeffro, that's actually a good idea. Um, my mom did that before, and that tastes good too. The Hidden Valley Ranch packets y'all can get. That's just powder. Just sprinkle the powder on them. They're really good. So, a Hidden Valley Ranch pack, delicioso also. That's the cool thing about this recipe. You can swap it up and do them different every time. Like I'm doing it with this seasoning this time. You can do it with ranch seasoning, one time taco seasoning, seasoning salts, just all kinds of stuff. Okay, now let me drop some more down. Gonna draw some more off over here. Make sure you pat them dry pretty good because obviously water and oil do not work well together, and you'll have a lot of splatter if you don't get majority of this water off. Yes, Tiger. I don't know. You may have one, and it may be where you get it, but Sam's Club has it for a good price like that, Tiger. You can go to Sam's Club and get the Hidden Valley by the bottle. And I actually used to do that too a lot because when we grill, I like to put it on potatoes and everything. It's really good. Barbecue seasoning, yes, Grand. That's really good too. Oh, cool, Forrest. Yeah, I like making these in the summer or barbecue grill time is good. I haven't made these in a long time. I don't even think I've made them since we lived in this house, but now these are we cut these chat and they're cut really thin. You can use a mandolin cutter to cut these or some kind of slicer. I didn't have one, so I just cut them with a knife by hand. Yes, it is, Tiger. I like Sam's Club. We have one. I use our Sam's Club a lot. I actually need to go this coming month and get some more stuff. It's good for trash bags too. We buy big packs of trash bags that way. Okay, let me put some seasoning on the newer stuff here. And I like to do this as soon as they come out of the oil so it sticks better. Okay. Now let me see about getting these ham and Swiss sliders out of the oven. Some places have Costco. I know some of you guys have Costco and tell me you don't have Sam's Club, and that's fine too. We have both. Sam's Club is just way closer to us. It's about a 25-minute drive versus going to Costco, which is like 40 minutes away. And Costco stuff costs more than Sam's Club usually too. So yeah, and the spicy chicken too. Cilantro. I like their spicy chicken patties. So these are coming along quite nicely, guys. All right, I got my ham and Swiss sliders out. Let me get something to get them out of the pan. Okay. Now, let me move these over here. I've never done those this way, Graham, but you can when you make these, instead of frying them in oil like this, you can actually take, I think it's like 2 tablespoons of olive oil and take all these potatoes, put them in a bowl after you've dried them off, and take your seasoning and 2 tablespoons of olive oil and you toss it in it and put it on a cookie sheet um, with that's been sprayed or with foil and put them in the oven and you cook it so long and you can make them that way. And they're really good too. I've never done it yet, but I did find a recipe for it and I actually want to try it because it sounds really good. And we bake a lot of stuff in our home anyway, and we don't fry a lot of times. So I just think it would be good to try it that way. We use our air fryer a lot too. No, I didn't one time. I think I told some of you guys that were in here the other night, but when Cilantro and I went to Lowe's to run errands the other day, I found the stove that I was so excited about. Cilantro saw it. It is a stove that has an air fryer built into it. So you can open the stove and turn it to the air fryer setting instead of the oven setting, and oh my gosh. So I was just like, oh my gosh. And those things are $1,400 though. I was like, ah. But the stove itself is really nice too. Okay, I'm going to let these continue to cook over here, and we're going to come over here to our table. I know, Tiger, $1,400. It's ridiculous, but gosh, would I love one. Okay, so let me get my plate over here. Okay, now let me take this, because we didn't pre-separate these because I told you not to when you cook these. And they have been drizzled with our mixture of butter, poppy seed, minced onion. It's a stick of butter. You melt it, and then you mix in poppy seed, minced onion, a little bit of pepper and salt, Dijon mustard, and some Worcestershire sauce. And you sprinkled it or drizzled it over the top of these. Put them in the oven covered in foil for 20 minutes. And then you take the foil top off and cook them an additional 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. And I hate getting these out. The first row anyway, I should say. Because they don't want to come out. And then after that, they're usually easier to get out. Okay. We have our Swiss cheese everywhere in here, which is fun. I love Swiss cheese. I was telling Chad it's really good on cheeseburgers. Okay. And then we're going to take some tongs or your hands and get out your potato chips here. And these are on Hawaiian rolls, in case anyone was wondering. And there you go. We have Swiss and ham sliders. And it has the coating on it that we made and drizzled with homemade potato chips. So there you go, guys. That is our dish of the day. Ham and Swiss sliders with homemade potato chips. There you have it. That's what's cooking in the Italian girl's kitchen today. So guys, I thank you all for coming and joining me today. I hope you learned a little something. This video will be going up hopefully soon. Cilantro will get it up on our YouTube channel. If you have not followed, please go follow our YouTube. Follow our Discord for any recipes I might put in there. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. You make this stream awesome. Thank you all for being here. We will see you this coming week. Please catch Cilantro Monday at 3 p.m. Central. And please, please, please don't forget to make tomorrow a great one and tell somebody you love them. Bye-bye.